Do you ever have moments where you're ready to create? You're determined to create every day. You're like, yes, I feel motivated. But then you don't know what to work on. You have lots of project ideas, but you're feeling like there's so much chaos going on, or you just don't know what you want to make. Well, I'm actually feeling that right now, so I can 100% relate. Smash that thumbs up button if you can relate to this, because today we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you what I do because I'm actually going to do it. And we'll see how we can break through these moments of what path to take, indecisiveness. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kristina Moyer, and I'm an artist specializing in acrylic paints, and I'm also working towards becoming a full-time artist. So if you're interested on becoming a full-time artist yourself, or curious about the journey, or you are a hobbyist artist and you just want someone that's entertaining and engaging and inspiring, well, that could be me, I hope. So consider subscribing if that's something you might be interested in. And let's get started with today's video. First, we'll let Charlie find his place, just where he can see me. And then we'll start setting up. Now, I've decided to get out of the studio because it's chaos, like I said. And there are projects sitting out, and I don't want to work on those ones. I just want to paint and create something, but I need a new space. So sometimes you just need to relocate. And that's my first tip for you, is to relocate when you're feeling a little bit chaotic in your space. Grab some materials from projects you've been thinking about, if you have any that have been on your mind. So I've been thinking about painting on rocks. I have this little gnome kit, and I have my ornaments to do or work on. So, and then I have my black mixed media paper. You might have completely different mediums and things to use. Like, it does not have to be at all what I'm using, but bring out some things, put them on the table, bring them into a new space, go outside, bring those materials with you, and once you have them all sitting out in front of you, you can decide what you want to create. Sometimes it's hard still at that point. I was still feeling a little bit unsure. I sat for a little while, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, sitting thinking, okay, I took that action step of, bringing this stuff out, which is supposed to help me decide, and I still don't know what to do. But just a couple moments of, reflection, because what are you going to spend the next hour doing? What do you want to create? And is it going to be something you can finish within a certain time frame? So I felt like painting on a rock, yes, I can finish that in an hour or so, maybe less, maybe more, depending on what I'm creating. And this particular image is something kind of like what I've been wanting to work on for some time. If you don't have any idea, you're totally lost at what you want to paint, what you want to paint on, then I recommend taking a class. Now that's, I suppose, is another problem. What class should you take? Or just copy what I'm doing. Paint a rock, if you have one, or paint on paper the same kind of image. You could totally do this on any kind of surface, on a canvas or anything. I just have been wanting to paint a rock that looks like it's cracked open with a whole other world inside or something else inside. Sometimes I've seen ones with like reptiles kind of breaking open an egg. I was considering that as well. And I also knew I wanted to work on with my Posca paint pens. Well, I haven't really used them much, and so I knew I wanted to play around with those a little bit, and they work really well on a smooth surface. And these are really smooth rocks, so I thought this is a good opportunity, and that's kind of what led me to choosing this particular thing. But I totally get it if you're still struggling to select what to work on or finding a tutorial. I do have online art classes. If you want to try those out, you can try the first month for free if you're new to Skillshare, or if you are already subscribed to Skillshare, then great, go check them out. And I have some great follow along with me kind of paintings. And even on this channel, I have some follow along, like paint with me sessions. So just do one of those if you're not sure what to do. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is just follow along with somebody else. So once I decided, okay, I'm going to paint on a rock, then what imagery to select? That can stump somebody as well and take away the time for actually creating. which is why it's great to have projects that are on the go already so that you can just get right into those and you don't have this, what should I do? What should I paint? What, once I decide what medium and material I'm going to use, what do I actually paint on that material? Well, what I like to do is have Pinterest boards on the go where I will, look for inspiration for projects like, even my face art that I do, which I haven't done in a little while, but these rock paintings, and especially if it's something that's totally new to you, so you don't know what might work on there or some ideas you're looking for, you're a beginner, there's nothing wrong with going on there and looking for some ideas, getting some inspiration. You never know what it might lead to when you do that. Okay, sorry for kind of falling off the, the camera viewpoint at this point. Sorry. Um, when you get into something, a project, sometimes you forget that there's a camera there, or you forget where the viewpoint is. So I'm not a target. My apologies. Okay, but anyway, so I like for painting rocks, I have a board, and whether that's shared board or secret board, painting rocks. So I have in there all these different ideas for that. Could be seasonal, could be all kinds of different things. And from there, it can help me select what to do. So I actually went on there and there was nothing that, I mean, there was a couple things that I thought, oh, I could do this. But sometimes you just want something you haven't seen yet, something you haven't added to that board. Or maybe by looking at something else, you realize, okay, yeah, I do have something on there that is good. But basically, if you're not sure and you do have a board that you've created, and if you haven't yet, create one. Go down, like scroll to the bottom of your list in your Pinterest board, and it'll say see more. So it gives you more recommendations based on what you've already put in your board, if there's nothing within there that you're like keen on doing right then. So I use that sometimes. It's like an algorithm, right? It knows what you like based on what you've added to your board already. So it might give you some ideas of ones that you didn't find already. And that's how I found this one. Long story, I know. I like my long stories. What can I say? So I found this one and I like the way that it glowed from the inside. Sometimes it shows different scenery within the style where you see like kind of the cracked rock opening into a new world. So that's this particular piece. And don't forget to sign it. I like to sign with the same medium that I'm using. You don't have to, but I like to do that. So I'll sign with acrylic paint. And once this thing is completely dry, give it a few days. It's always best to wait a few days to make sure things are fully dry. You might feel dry, but you want to make sure all the layers, especially if you paint thick, that they're fully dry. If you paint thick, I paint pretty thin, so I can just wait a few days typically. But if you paint thicker, I would wait a full week, and then some if you're really thick. But um, a week should be good, and then you can varnish it. I'm going to do some kind of glossy varnish, I think, on these. If you've seen those, I don't know if I'll do a resin. I haven't done any kind of resin before, but definitely some like glossy varnish would be really neat. Or maybe gloss the inside and keep the outside a matte finish. Ooh, there's an idea. I might try that because the rock might be cool to keep it kind of a matte finish and have the inside kind of a glossy, like looking into a window. So there we go. I just came up with that idea just now. See, sometimes the ideas, they come as you take action, as you kind of do things. So that's the thing. Don't be stuck thinking about it too long. Take action, whether that is adding items to a Pinterest board or pexels, that kind of thing. Then you'll be able to create something rather than sit there thinking about it. So here is the finished product. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this something you would have in your home or that you would like to paint? Maybe you could give it a go and share with me on social media at KMoreYYC if you do something like this or if you found inspiration through this video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. You're awesome. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. And if you got any value from this, I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. We will see you next week.